Hey guys, this year I'm be talking about Stargirl, the series finale, okay, 313. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe for new, notifications on, jump right into discussion about Stargirl series finale. A lot happened in this finale, but I'm going to talk about the ending first. Because it relates to Jay, and I've been saying this since Stargirl 209 even aired. Stargirl is part of the Arrowverse, and the Jay Garrick that we saw in Stargirl is the same one from The Flash. This episode proves that even more. Jay came through a portal, which was a Speed Force, by the way. I rewatched it several times over. It was a Speed Force. The exact sound when Barry entered his Speed Force in season 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, I don't know if it was in Snake, because Barry didn't really enter his Speed Force then, but whenever Barry's entered his Speed Force, it's always made that weird soundtrack. That same sound was used when Jay exited that portal. It was a Speed Force. And this is the same Jay Garrick from The Flash. I don't know how many times I need to say that to people, but it is. Jeff Johns even confirmed it several times over. It isn't hard to connect the dots here, people. It really isn't. I said several times over, I really predicted this season to the T, and everyone hated on me for it. I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm talking about here, people. Like, I look at the facts. I don't look at opinions most of the time for my content. I don't. The matter of the fact is that this Jay Garrick that we saw in Stargirl in both 209 and 313, the series finale, is the same Jay Garrick from The Flash coming from Earth Prime to Earth 3, or Earth 2, sorry. That is a fact. There's no 50-50. There's no, well, it's not confirmed, so I'm not going to believe it. It is confirmed. John Lindsay Ship confirmed that. Jeff Johns confirmed that. A synopsis that released for 209 for Stargirl confirmed that Jay is from Earth Prime appearing on Stargirl's Earth and is from The Flash. It is confirmed. There is no 50-50. There's no it's not confirmed BS. It is 100% confirmed. People need to quit saying it's not. Because it's getting ridiculous. Anyone who believes Jay Garrick that we saw in Stargirl 209 and 313 is not the same Jay from The Flash, you're an absolute idiot. You're an idiot. Because you do not want to accept the fact. There are some people who blatantly do not know because they don't look at everything. But if you look at everything, and I mean really look, you will know for a fact that this Jay is the same one from The Flash that appeared on Stargirl twice now and is connected to The Flash. That's why Stargirl is connected to the Arrowverse. That's what makes the show part of the Arrowverse. And it just furthermore connects it, and possibly even a much bigger crossover for Stargirl being on The Flash in season 9. I really do truly believe that's where we're going for The Flash now. Whatever the hell it is. Something goes on Earth Prime with The Flash. Jay crosses over to Stargirl's Earth, grabs the JSA, including Court, Yolanda, Rick, Beth, Pat, and some other people, and goes to Earth Prime. They have a big fight, big crisis type event. That's what you do. I'm assuming that's what's happening. Also, it'd be in 2030 something around there, 2032, probably 2033. Somewhere around that time period is when this would all unfold. So it would make sense for it to begin to The Flash, especially considering Armageddon took place in 2031. Like, they aren't fully outreaching here to say that they can't do an event from 2030 or whatever year in the future in The Flash. Like, they can do that, right? Time travel is a thing. It can happen. So I'm only going to say this one more time, and I'm not replying to any comments on this because I've had it today. Jay Garrick that we saw in Stargirl in both 209 and 313 is the same one from The Flash. If you don't want to believe that, you do you. I don't care. I'm done caring. I'm done wasting my time on people who don't want to listen to facts. As I've been saying, when I say it's a fact, I mean it's a fact. I've done my research. I've looked at every possible outcome. That is how I conclude it's a fact. If it wasn't a fact, I wouldn't be saying the words "it's a fact" over and over and over and over. I don't, my credibility is that I report accurate stuff. I don't do this for the hell of it. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this to get clicks and views. I do it to report accurate information, which lately has been when people report that it's not, and then I'm reporting it is, it's 50-50 for you guys because you don't really know, but it is. I am promising all of you that believe me, that trust me, that watch my content all the time. And if you don't, if this is your first video watching my channel, then trust me and listen to me when I tell you it is a fact that this Jade that we saw in Stargirl twice now is the same from The Flash, and Stargirl is 100% connected to the Arrowverse and the multiverse, like we knew that was set up at the end of Crisis when that montage went by, Stargirl being on Earth 2, and all these other Earths. It is all connecting now, in real time. And Stargirl was the first plot point for that. Now, how Jay managed to cross Earths, you would assume is how Barry did it in season 2 of The Flash. When he ran so fast, he broke the barrier, and he just ended up on another Earth. Like Supergirl's Earth, like that first crossover they did between each other. I do think it's a full circle moment, though, that The Flash, that Barry Allen was the first connection to the old multiverse, and now Jay's the first connection to the old multiverse. I think is a really good, tie-in to both, and it's a really cool thing it's just like a full circle moment. So I was really happy that they did that for Jay. I was really happy that they brought Jay in to connect it even more so to the Arrowverse, and the multiverse, and there's no possible way that they can change that up now. So with all that being said, let's actually jump into Stargirl for a minute, for the rest of the video, hopefully. It was a very good finale. I mean, it kind of... compared to, Arrow and, Supergirl, it was something better than Supergirl series finale. Mainly because Jay showed up. I think that's the only reason why I'm saying that. But it was not as good as Arrow's finale. I don't think even the Flash's series finale will top Arrow's just because of how iconic and memorable Arrow's series finale was. Because it did the flashbacks. We ain't gotten that since season 5. It just felt like a season 1 episode. And it was so iconic. It was so fresh and vibrant. And it's like I said already, memorable. I don't think Stargirl series finale was that. I mean, they set up this season to be a final season because they didn't know if they'd get picked up. But it felt rushed. And I was talking to people while the episode was airing. A lot of you who watched my videos, I was talking to some of you. And you agree with me when I say that this finale felt rushed. I mean, it really did. We had so many, ending notes. Before the fight scene started, there was a cut. When Grundy came back, we just saw his hand pop up. We never actually saw him, by the way. We just saw his hand pop up. But we learned he did come back and he did join the JSA on some level. They cut right then and there. They cut, after Sylvester after he was really back. Which, by the way, the opening was, the darkest opening I've ever seen in my life. It was such a cool opening, but it was so dark and morbid, with, the real Sylvester actually there, and them opening up his head and putting Ultrahuman's brain in Sylvester's. That's nuts. And that's on a CW show, people. You wouldn't expect that on the CW show Especially when their new brand now is Dare to Love. What the hell is that? I don't know anymore, but it's like, this is the last thing I was expecting on Stargirl, for them to do what they did in the opening. And also the end credit, but nonetheless, it was very interesting to see where they ended up with all the characters. Like, they were all figuring out that Sylvester was playing all of them, right? And Court getting the staff back, Pat being alive, he didn't die. I don't know how. The ending, they could have explained a lot better. Here was how it was explained. Pat told Court in their basement that several years back, Pat got taken by one of Sylvester's first enemies, and Sylvester taught him how to break from zip ties. Which, I mean, Pat was tied up. We saw that, right? So that part makes sense. But how does Pat manage to dig himself out of, I don't know, a 6-foot tall hole while he's being buried alive? And he was under there for at least like 5 minutes, you would think, right? I mean, it wasn't just like a 1-minute cut, unless it was, but you can't tell me that wasn't the case. Also, another plot hole here. The last time we saw Stripe was the thing was completely destroyed. And Pat said he could try to fix it, but the night guy, forgetting his name, said that it would take hours to fix. That wasn't hours. That was like maybe an hour max of amount of time left from when Pat went to Jordan's house to him being in Stripe. That wasn't that much of a time gap. Like, it wasn't. You can't tell me that it was. So I don't really get how it just went from that to, oh, Stripe's here and he's kicking and he's good. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I really don't understand how it can all just fall into play where it's just all, like, nowhere, pretty much. It made no sense whatsoever. Another whole thing to look at here is that we had 2 people die this episode. One was Cameron's grandmother, and one was Jordan. And Jordan didn't die till later in the season, or later in the episode towards the end, and it was by Artemis doing some weird chemical crap, and he burned him alive. And that was pretty cool. It was the last thing we were expecting. Now, we also got Mike being his mom at the end of the episode. We wrapped up pretty much everything. I mean, Sylvester came back with his actual brain because ultimately his brain dead. They didn't really say where his brain was. They said that they showed Sylvester's brain in some random location, and then somehow 10 years later, Sylvester's back. I don't know. I don't care. It's done. We have to live with it. Again, it was the best possible ending we could have gotten for how the season was set up. I said this the entire season for every single episode review I've done, which wasn't a lot of them. This finale, even if it was a season finale, I would be saying this exact same words I'm about to say right now. If the season wasn't dragged out, it would have been fine. It would have been perfectly fine for the finale. But because it was dragged out, because we didn't find out the big bad, or one of the big bads, till 309, and then everything started falling into place in 312, there was no way in hell that this finale wouldn't have been rushed. If everything would have been planned out much better, much more cleaner, it would have worked out 20 times better. That is what I'm saying. That is my opinion. I know some people will probably disagree with that. But if the season was not dragged out, if they didn't drag out the storylines, if they didn't, screw over Courtney this season, it probably wouldn't have been this much of a rush finale. It would have been completely different. Like, they could have ended 312 Like the cliffhanger that we had, they could have done it in 311. That cliffhanger, and then 312, the cliffhanger being the beginning of the fight scene, or something like that. And then 313, pick up, here's the fight scene, and here's Sylvester coming back, and all this. They could have put all of that in there, but they didn't. And they dragged it out for 10 to 12 episodes. That's not what helped this season at all. That's not what helped this finale at all. It's what screwed it over. And there's no possible way that this finale could have been any better if they had fixed the season up in general. That's the only way. If the writing was better, if they planned it out better, that's the only way that the finale could have possibly not have been rushed. That being said, this may have been because Jay showed up. But like I said in the beginning of the video, I do think this finale, this series finale, was far better than Supergirl's finale. I don't think it was better than Arrow's series finale. I didn't watch Black Lightning's. I didn't really care for it. Because I never really paid attention to the show. But I can't only speak for Black Lightning series finale. Because again, I never knew the show. So I can't say, if I think Stargirl series finale is better than Black Lightning's. But I'm sure those who did watch it, you can say that for sure in the comments. But, so, again, overall, this season was not the best. I think I do still stand by what I said in my last review, that 312 was easily the best episode of the season because of that ending. The finale, the series finale, as a series finale, was not great. As a season finale, I think it would have been 10 times better. You can't really do anything about that, though. The show got canceled midway through, and they decided to end the show in an appropriate way than just making sure the show didn't get, completely screwed over. That being said, I do truly think that, like I said already, if they didn't drag out this season, the series finale would not have been rushed. And it wouldn't have felt rushed. And it wouldn't have been just messy. It would have not ever have been this way if the season was not dragged out. That's the only way. So that's what we're dealing with now. So, thanks for watching this video. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.